Hi there kids, it's Sue, and we have just hit a lush jungle of lycopods. These are club mosses related to the ferns and more evolved than the mosses, and I have never seen all of the species together and some of them fruiting. So I'm going to share the beauty of these club mosses with you right now. I'm on the Northville Placid Trail. We've been about 115 miles of hiking over the last 11 days, and I'm just having a grand time out here in nature. So here we go. Here is the trail through this special forest. Can you see that the ground cover looks really different in texture? We take a close look now. I just love how this looks like a different kind of forest. And the amazing thing is that these lycopods, during the time of the dinosaurs, were the predominant vegetation. They were, some of them, 150-foot tall trees. But here they are, all that remains left in our time are these diminutive lycopods that kind of look like mini trees. So what does the word lycopod mean? Lyco comes from the Greek louros, which actually means wolf, and pod means foot. So we think of these as fuzzy wolf feet. What do you think? Does that make sense? Actually, all these species I'm showing you used to be in the genus Lycopodium. Let's learn some of them, okay? This unbranched version of Lycopodium is called the stiff or bristly Lycopodium. It's in the genus Hupertia. Notice the cones or strobili at the very tip of the unbranched stems. Hupertia anatinum. I'm now showing you the very elongated and branched strobili or cones that bear the spores of lycopods in this hidden species among the stiff Lycopodium. This one is called staghorn club moss because the highly branched stems resemble deer antlers. But here it is running horizontally on the surface of the ground in amongst the other species. Notice how much it branches. This third species is like a small tree, often called ground pine. Notice that its branches are in all directions around a central axis, and the leaflets are much shorter than the last two species. The strobilus is single at the very top, and the yellow spores of lycopods are known for their high oil content. They've been used as flash powder in early photography. This fourth species is one I don't see very often. This is called ground cedar because its leaflets are very reduced and scale-like, much like in a juniper or a cedar tree, and the color is a bluish green, also like juniper. Notice that the spreading branches look like layered fans. The strobili of this species are at the top, and they branch so many times they resemble candelabras. That's a fancy word for a candle holder. What's more, we could actually light these like candles. Okay, last species this time around. This is very much like the ground cedar, except it's not as bluish, it's more green, and the branches are flattened into fans. And there aren't as many layers of fans in this one. It's often called running pine or Christmas green, and you may see this one in Christmas trees at holiday time. Its strobili look very much like the last species. They're tall above the plant and look like candelabras. That puts both of these species in the genus Diphasiastrum. Can you say that word? This has been a lot to learn. Thank you for hanging in there, and I thought we could look at all of them once again. The stiff Lycopodium, that's single-stemmed and very erect. The genus is Hupertia. Next we have our staghorn Lycopodium, or staghorn club moss is another word. Remember, its branches run along the ground and look like deer antlers. This one has remained in the genus Lycopodium. It's Lycopodium clavatum. The third one was ground pine that looked like little trees, and we call this one Dendrolycopodium obscurum. The fourth species was the ground cedar, because it's bluish green, has very small leaflets that look like scales of a juniper, and its strobili were the candelabras. This species is Diphasiastrum tristachyium. It even looks like a ground juniper. And the fifth species also had candelabra formations of their strobili. And this one was called running pine or Christmas green, Diphasiastrum complanatum. I hope you've had fun learning about 5 different club mosses in this Lilliputian garden of lycopods.